Operations has issued an emergency order for a reconnaissance mission to be conducted near the border. You will be monitoring the airspace B-7R, currently under Belkan control.
We were all on an equal footing, fighting under the same conditions. No affiliations or ranks to hinder us. Aces from every nation crisscrossed through those skies in pursuit of air superiority. The only rule of engagement was to survive.
Something wrong with the IFF? Only 2 aircraft are showing up on radar. Don't they know about the round table? It seems they're onto us. Cypher, we'll fly into the round table. Proceed with caution. Warning, radar shows additional craft approaching area B7R at high speed. Go 2 to Go 1. Enemy reinforcements, probably the main force. Indigo 1 to all units. Target spotted. Commencing attack. Approaching gun range. GOM 1, missile launched. Warning, the enemy's locked onto you. Damn, Lucios. They're faster than I thought. Now things are nice and even. Cypher, 1 for you and 1 for me. Enemy fighter confirmed down. Apparently that was their captain. These mercenaries are crazy. Watch out, the enemy's locked onto you. All Belkan reinforcements confirmed down. Mission complete. Return to base. Incoming message from Allied Forces Operations Command. Allied Naval Force has begun its advance. We appreciate your work. Looks like we were just a couple of decoys. Yo, buddy. You still alive?
Welcome back to Let's Play Yes Combat Zero. I am Rutivendolo as usual, and today with me we have
Cannot find server.
today we'll be showing you the differences between the Aces style on Mission 3, and then we'll move on with Mission 4.
GOM team, this
We
is
will
Eagle
be
Eye.
flying
Penetrate
with
B7R in the field
what is
position.
this? I don't remember. It's the AA-6B, the Jammer.
This aircraft is pretty special.
Yeah.
This is not the kind of thing that I would personally ever use on a mission where you're shooting
Yeah,
out aces, so you got my respect.
Yes, on air-to-air mission is not the most suitable aircraft. And it has also mechanical engines, as it seems.
I think that those actually might be some kind of like airspeed instrument or something. I don't really know much about the EA-6B, but those definitely aren't like prop engines. I think they're like some kind of
Or something mix about propeller and engines or something like that.
I'm not entirely sure what those are. I've been playing this game myself lately, and I've been trying to go through a playthrough using just the default 3 aircraft, and this mission's about as far as I got before I gave that idea up.
It's not the best idea ever, but props
No,
on
once you start going against the aces, like the ace squadrons, that idea, like if you're playing on ace difficulty, that idea dies
Yes.
pretty early in the game.
Yeah. And this is our first ace, Growfolk, is flying with a Thunder.
Actually, I believe that is Tornado.
Ah, yes. yeah. I'm a total ignorant.
Tornado's pretty cool. I like it a lot better than the American version of the Swing Wing, the F-14, which I believe you actually use in this video.
And now there is our first squadron ace. It will be different from each ace style. This is Grunt team.
This is Ground 2.
I really like the different squadrons that they added to this game depending on your ace style.
Yes, it's
I think
very
it
good.
adds a lot of replayability.
Yes. And they have apparently an English dub. Might be English-based Ace Squadron, as you can hear.
Right. I also would like to point out that this music for the ace battles is awesome.
Yes, very.
Each ace battle has a slightly different one. It all starts with that little Spanish guitar right at the
Yes.
beginning, then breaks down into different variants, like variants of the same kind of theme. I think it works really well. I think this is a really well-made game. I posted in the thread that, in my opinion, this is the highlight of the Ace Combat series.
Yeah, I think it also.
I really like the amount of aircraft it has, which is great for plane nerds like myself, and it doesn't have that really awkward plane tree system thing that Ace Combat 5 had.
That was close, anyway. And the A6 is a jammer aircraft, so we for a secondary weapon we will have the ACMP, the electronic countermeasure missile. It manages to avoid enemy missiles coming toward us.
I've never actually really used this plane much, so watching you use it was interesting. I didn't really I thought it was. I like looking at it. I bought it and everything, but I've never flown it. I thought it was just like a big, heavy attacker plane, something like an A-10.
Yeah, it manages to fly well. Its maneuverability is pretty good for being such a big aircraft.
Yeah, I think this is possibly the biggest aircraft in the game. I don't know. The MiG-31 actually might be bigger.
Yeah, it has a very bulky look, very squared.
Which is interesting when you consider that this was a carrier-based aircraft. The fact that it's so big is strange to think about. I mean, it's got fold wings, but...
And mission accomplished. We managed with a jammer. And I don't know if you noticed, but Grunt Team used flares to deflect our missiles. It's a distinctive feature that they have. And for mercenary, let's see what aircraft we are using.
This is Eagle Eye. Penetrate B7R and get a feel for the surroundings.
Lights.
I mentioned before that the Tornado I liked better than the American swing wing aircraft, and this is that American swing wing aircraft. A lot of people really love the F-14. I don't know. I've never liked it just because I think the back end is awful looking. I don't know. It just looks like the area between the two engines just looks unfinished to me. It almost looks like they just gave up.
It also seemed to be I don't know, but it might be the same aircraft of Afterburner.
Yeah, I believe it is. Or I don't know if the aircraft in Afterburner was this exact one, or if it was like just a very close copy.
Or something like that.
It was very obviously inspired by it either way.
And it also has geometric variables wings.
Yeah, that's the defining feature. That's one of the reasons a lot of people really like this aircraft, is because it seems so cool and everything. And I agree that's a really cool feature. Just I don't like the styling. I guess I'm vain.
Yeah, pretty obvious looking, but that's a cool feature.
Like I said, the Tornado also has those kinds of wings, and I think it's a better looking aircraft. And in this game, it's a bit better performing of an aircraft.
And that's a race for Mercenary Pack. 1000. Oh, Yowzen. What's his name? And Pixie did it for us. Thank you, Pixie.
Man, if only he could ever do that with me.
Yeah.
Seems like the only time Pixie ever shoots things down half the time in this game is like something completely, like maybe he'll shoot a tank or something while you have 5 enemy aircraft on you. It's like, oh, thanks, Pixie.
And there is our Ace Squadron for mercenary style.
These guys are,
They're the ROT team.
yeah,
And they're flying with, it's not the Gripen.
Eurofighter.
It's, yeah, the Mirage,
No,
I think.
this is either, I can't tell because this isn't the Mirage. The Mirage doesn't have the canards. This is either a Eurofighter or a. This is either a Eurofighter or a Rafale.
We'll see in a few seconds.
Rafale, whatever.
The Typhoon.
Oh, okay.
The Typhoon.
The Typhoon and the Rafale are very similar aircraft. I think it was touched on earlier, either in the thread or in another video. Basically, Dassault decided to take the Eurofighter, or France decided to take the Eurofighter and like make their own version of it. They're both beautiful aircraft. I love them. As is the Mirage that you mentioned, which is also in this game. The Dassault Mirage 2000 is a glorious looking aircraft.
Exactly. Ooh, that was close. And the ROT team will use the as a strategy. They will use long-range attacks, but we'll be using two long-range missiles.
I believe that the mercenary ace squadrons in general seem to use longer range missiles because I have gotten to the last set of missions. And there's another ace squadron. I'm playing on mercenary right now, and they are doing that, and it is driving me nuts because they're shooting me down before I can do anything about it.
Yes.
Yeah, the way that they put different, like not just different ace squadrons, but also change up their fighting style. I really think it's great. I think it added so much replayability to this game.
Exactly.
As well as the multiple paths for a single mission, like the multiple different...
Yeah, the multiple branches, it will be the first thing we will see for Mission 4.
Which is a great mission. I think I see Mission 4 as when this game starts getting real.
Yes. Okie doke. And we're almost done.
And it's always the last one that gives you the most problems.
Yeah.
Nothing feels more satisfying than shooting them down with regular missiles. I usually give up and just resort to QAMs when I'm shooting down aces, because it's so annoying to do it with regular missiles.
And let's move on with Mission 4, Juggernaut. Last time in Mission 3 we managed to secure, or it was Mission 2 I guess, we managed to secure a supply line for Ustio, and this is the result. Now Ustio will be helping us on the Balkan War.
The campaign will be called Offensive Campaign Number 4101. The objective of this operation is to secure a sea transit lane for the Allied forces.
And we will have multiple branches for this mission.
Turo Canal must be cleared out.
This mission is great because it reminds me a lot of the mission in Ace Combat 4 where you have to destroy the fleet anchored in harbor. Although that mission was a little bit more insane than this one is. We'll see the insane missions in this game a bit later on.
An air-to-air surface operation, whose objective is to wipe out Belka's air squadron, port facilities, and surface weapons.
And if you've played Ace Combat 5, we will also meet an old acquaintance of ours, the Castor.
Yeah, I like this game's throwouts to different aces from Ace Combat 5. Or, well, not aces, but like allies and whatnot. I think it's really cool. There's a couple more that'll be making appearances later on in the game, but I won't say anything more than that.
Yeah, spoiler.
Fierce resistance by Belkan forces is expected in all 3 missions. Choose carefully which one you wish to participate in. That is all.
So, I'll leave you the choice. Select what mission you want. So, Mission Gallikas. It will be most primarily a air-to-ground mission, but it will also feature a few aircrafts. So we will have to choose an aircraft that it's adaptable aircraft, and we will go for this mission with the MiG-31.
This thing is awesome. Look at it. That is the most Soviet-looking aircraft on the planet.
Yeah. We will have a more detailed look right now. Yeah, it has a pretty bulky look.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is bigger than the Growler or not. I think it might be longer. Just looking at it, it is a gigantic aircraft. You can tell that this aircraft was designed around those two massive engines that you see in the back. Those things are nuts.
And its maneuverability, it's
Nope.
not very good, as we'll see a few minutes from now.
I do think that this aircraft is actually a really good choice early on for a ground attack plane.
Yeah, it's mostly apt for air-to-ground missions.
It's one of the many cases of this game telling you that an aircraft is one type, because it says this is a fighter, but this is not a fighter. Not for the intents of this game.
This is Blaise Pascal as usual, and this quote will change later on, in later missions. Also the cockpit.
I love
You
the
have
cockpit in this thing. It kind of
Yeah.
is totally useless. I usually fly with cockpit view, but with this thing I just can't.
Yes. And as you can see in the map, this mission will feature jammers, so we will have to take them down in order to have a clearer view on the map.
But this plane really excels at its completely absurd speed. Look at how quickly this thing's accelerating. You just barely hit the throttle and it takes off. Like I said, you can tell this plane was designed around those huge engines, which gives it immense acceleration and speed. This is the fastest aircraft in the game. Because of that, the way I usually use this aircraft is I do really high speed, low passes, like with the unguided bombs. I think this aircraft is probably the best bet for a ground attack plane in the earlier game, just because it has such early access to the unguided bomb large version, which is almost brokenly good. And it is a lot of fun just blasting through top speed, throttle all the way in, going by everything at like 1400 miles an hour, dropping bombs on them.
As we're doing
Yeah.
right now.
It's even better if you get a mission where you have buildings and you just start stunting in between them. I mean, it'll get you killed a lot, but
Yeah.
hey.
And that's what I was saying before. Its maneuverability
No,
is
this
not very
thing-
good. Yeah. As you can
This,
see,
oh god!
as you just saw. Yeah, it has a few moments.
That was... You should have been dead there.
Yeah. But for the sake of this LP, I didn't.
It would have been pretty, it would have been pretty perfect if you did, just because I do that a lot when I play this game. I have a really high-risk play style,
Yeah.
which gets me killed way more than I really should be getting killed.
And this is our first ace for Knightpath Undert.
This, I would like to say that the X-29 is a really cool plane. It's a shame they never actually made it.
And as you can see, I have to correct where I was heading.
Over the course of this video, I have to say I'm really surprised with how much you fly inverted, because that stuff is way too disorienting for me. I can't do it.
It was also disorienting for me also.
It always makes me nervous, because when you have your plane upside down, you'll constantly lose altitude because aerodynamics, and seems like the few times I've ever tried to do the inverted flight thing to attack things, I just end up pancaking it into the ground really quickly.
Well, we seem to be doing pretty good for now.
I would also, I just wanted to point out, I really like this sonic boom effect that they do.
And again.
It's the worst. This mission is a really nice mission if you need to start building up funds. It has a lot of neutral targets. If you're quick, you can just destroy every single thing on the map and get yourself a better plane. And if you're on a new file, it's important to do exactly that.
And there is an old acquaintance of ours, the Draken.
Great plane.
Pretty good looking plane. Not as the Gripen, but almost.
Not as good as the Gripen or as good as the Viggen either. That plane really should have been in this game. Oh well.
That was close.
Yeah. Nothing is worse.
Might be a
Nothing
bad
is
omen.
worse than having two aircraft. You're trying to tail one, and the other one is behind you, shooting at you with guns and missiles. Especially
Yes.
on ace difficulty, because one missile will kill you.
And especially with the MiG-31.
Yeah, because it's good luck trying to get away.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing you can do in the MiG is just power up and fly as fast as you can.
And it seems we're almost done. We have just a few more targets. Nothing could possibly go wrong from here.
Yeah, that sonic boom effect that just happened there is great. That little cloud that appears around your plane. First several times I didn't know what was going on.
Another targets inbound.
Bunch more Gripens.
There
Or,
again.
yeah, Drakens,
Yeah,
whatever
more
they are.
Drakens.
A bunch more of those weird double delta wing things. This is when this mission can start getting hairy.
And he's down.
I think it's weird the conservative way you use your missiles. I always, every time I shoot an aircraft, it's a double shot every time.
Yeah, I learned to manage my missiles because I used to deplete all them very fast.
Yeah, especially if you're in a weaker plane, like one of the beginning planes.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, it was.
And and that was even even more closer.
That's what happens with this game. Sometimes it just decides to kill you. No feeling in this game is worse than getting a lock on your aircraft and then just dying before you can even try to outmaneuver the missile.
Yeah. And we were so close to the end of the mission. Oh wow.
These things happen.
God bless the salt function on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, the dogfighting aspect is just deadly in the poor MiG. I really do adore this aircraft, but every time it's time to shoot down other aircraft, it's kind of that's pretty much the way I usually try to use it in air-to-air combat, is just do jousting runs. It actually seems to do well with that if you just pull up at the last second. Half the time it seems like you'll shoot down the guy you're going for.
Yes. So annoying.
As we'll see later in the game. Some of the...
And I should learn to use more my gun because I don't usually use in third-person view. It's mostly, I find it mostly be useful. Hey, come on! I'm trying to do a commentary. God damn it.
How about this time? Will this be the magic run?
Third time is always a charm. I hope so.
Shoot down the enemy fighters. Blow them up to higher altitude. Locked on. AA guns destroyed.
Man. Seeing you pan this camera around just weirded me out. I never fly in third-person view. I always fly either in cockpit, or if it's a plane like this, I fly first person with just the HUD. So this,
I usually use the cockpit view too.
it just feels right.
I use this view this camera to show just the aircraft and the battles for our viewers.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, plus the cockpit view in this thing is pretty much
Yeah,
useless.
you can see anything.
This, as well as its cousin, the MiG-21, have pretty rough cockpit views. It's kind of like flying half blind. Speaking of flying half blind, this aircraft has a fantastic secondary cockpit behind the pilot, in which the co-pilot can't see pretty much anything. He has two tiny little side windows that are like the size of a port in like a boat, and that's it. He sits back there and he operates the radar. Theoretically, he can fly the plane, but I don't know how. He'd have to fly it by instruments only because he can't see anything.
Blind flying.
Seems like a kind of terrifying thing to be cooped up in a Russian aircraft for hours on end without being able to see anything.
Yes.
And speaking of which, Russia actually now gives out flights in the MiG-31. You can go and request to be brought up in one. So if you have a death wish, go for it.
Yeah.
As much as I love this plane, I don't know if I'd quite be brave enough to jump in one. Kind of seems like a bad idea.
My eyes. Ah.
Well, you can't say they didn't get the glare effect well.
Yeah. Okay, give me a break, come on.
Now one of the interesting things about this aircraft is it's based on the MiG-25, which was, MiG-25 was actually built to intercept the XB-70 Valkyrie bomber, which was something that we never actually made. That's why this thing is so fast and so not anything else but really fast.
Yeah. Just fast.
It was built to intercept the fastest bomber ever made that wasn't ever made. The MiG-25, as a matter of fact, set a... I don't know if it's a record or something, but the MiG-25, they clocked it flying over Saigon once, going Mach 3.2.
Yeah, I think I've read it somewhere.
That's completely insane. It destroyed the engines, but hey, at least he was booking it.
Yeah, let's put two big engines on a block square. What?
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Control surfaces? Pah, who needs those?
Just fly at Mach 3 and nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, I view the MiG-31 as the last truly Soviet-looking aircraft, because after this they started making like the Sukhoi Su-27 and the MiG-29, which, I mean, they could almost be mistaken for like an F-15 or something. They're very obviously inspired by Western-designed aircraft, with the whole bubble cockpit and everything. This thing definitely doesn't have a bubble cockpit.
Thank God we did it.
Yeah. That wasn't particularly pretty.
Jesus. And I think he just used a parachute.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Oh God!
Kamikaze Mirage.
Thank God.
I actually have to say I've never seen that happen before. I didn't know what would happen if an allied plane hit you, and now I do.
And that's it for Mission Galnicos. And I'll see you. I guess I'll see you next time. Goodbye from me. And
Oh, goodbye, viewers.
Mission Roundhammer. It's mostly an air-to-ground missile, so we'll be using an aircraft apt for this mission. A lot of ground targets and also boats.
Boats are great.
So let's see what aircraft are we going to use. We're going with the Thunderbolt.
This thing is awesome.
Nickname Warthog.
This is a fantastic triumph of form or function before form, because it is not a pretty looking plane, but it is good at what it does.
Pretty slow, but it manages to do its job.
Just don't use this trying to shoot down ace squadrons or you're gonna cry.
It has also a big ass gun, as you can see.
Yeah, that is the main attraction for this thing. That gun was built to take out tanks. It is a serious thing.
And we're going to use the advanced air-to-ground missiles. And we'll give the unguided bomb to Pixie.
I have to say I'm sad that you didn't choose the fuel air explosive bomb. Although I'm sure we'll see that later on.
Yeah, because we have also boats to kill, so I prefer the long-range air-to-ground missile.
Makes sense. I don't think the A-10 has a very big. I don't think it carries many of the fuel air explosive bombs either.
So we have 18 air-to-ground missiles. They're pretty useful for this mission.
This mission is... This is our introduction to boats, and boats are fantastic because they give out so many points, especially the larger ones that have multiple sections to them, like SAMs as well as the ship itself.
Anti-air gun and SAMs.
Yeah, like I said, this mission as a whole is fantastic for grinding out money early in the game. If this is your first time through, choose this or Galnicos.
Yes. And also a submarine.
I'm disappointed that the boats and submarines in this game don't have names like they did in Ace Combat 4. I mean, not all of them did in that, but...
There's a special weapon.
This is a pretty useful weapon. Its ability to shoot multiple things with one go is great.
It doesn't fly straight, but as you've seen, it goes up and then it flies right over the target. So if you have something that hinders your view, it will just avoid it.
Which is also very useful, especially if you're on a map where there's a lot of mountains. The missiles will try to fly straight to their target, and if there's a mountain in the way, they'll fly in the mountain instead. Which kind of sucks, especially with some of the missions coming up.
Yeah, the Warthog, for being such a big aircraft, its maneuverability is better than the MiG-31. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's got a little bit more wing going for it here.
Yeah, wider wings.
Now, interestingly, this aircraft, somebody managed to get a wing shot off of one of these and actually flew it back to base, I guess. Which, looking at the design, I wouldn't think that was possible. There's another aircraft in this game that happened to, and it made sense it was able to fly back. This, I don't know how they managed that.
Props to him.
I guess, yeah, that's pretty impressive. I gotta say, I don't really know much about this aircraft compared to the MiG because I'm secretly a communist or something.
Me neither, so...
I do know that it has that. I do know that it has that fantastic Vulcan cannon in the front,
Yeah.
though, which is pretty much all you need to know about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same in this game. In Ace Combat 6, the A-10's gun is actually significantly stronger than the gun for the other aircraft in the game, and you can just destroy everything with it. I'm not sure if they did that in this game. I don't think they did in Ace Combat 4 because I tried that.
And that's our ace for this mission for night, or Moiu, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't know how that's pronounced. He's flying the next generation of American aircraft, the F-35, which is a stealthy-looking thing that kind of looks like an F-22, but not really. And I don't think is as much of a waste of money as that is, but that's a different rant for some other time.
Oh, come on.
This is the poor Warthog is definitely not something to shoot other planes down with, even less so than the MiG, because it doesn't even have any anti-air secondary weapons at all. I believe the MiG-31 can get QAMs. This can't get anything.
Where has he gone? Oh wow.
You got two of them behind you, oh god. Missiles everywhere.
Oh, this is the second, Gable. And it's a pair of aces.
I actually don't remember these guys at all.
And they appear only if you take down all the boats, all the target boats, before the end of the mission.
Oh. Okay, right, and the other F-35 ace appears if you take out all targets in one section of it,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. There are three aces. One appears at the beginning of the mission, then Gable only if you take down all the ships, and then a third only if you take down all the ground targets. So you have to play at least twice for this mission if you want all the aces.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's been mentioned that getting the different aces to appear in this game actually requires different things.
Yeah.
You have to play different ways. You have to do different things. Some of them have a time requirement.
Yes.
Some of them a target requirement. Some of them have stupid requirements. There's one ace later on in the game that a lot of people have a lot of problems getting to appear.
Like for mission 3, you had to take down for spawning a certain ace to take down all the jammers within 3 minutes. And then for another ace, you have to leave the jammers and also wait 5 minutes. So you have to play at least also in mission 3 twice to get all the aces, which is not that bad because it has a good repairability thanks to the to the ace styles.
Yeah, as well as these branching missions.
And Pixie managed to kill our last target. Thank you again, Pixie.
Now, when watching this video, I finally was able to tell that if Pixie destroys something, you actually get the points for it. I didn't know that before. Suddenly, I feel a little bit better about when he steals my target.
And we just heard the commander of the Castor.
That aircraft carrier we never saw.
It was featured in Ace Combat 5, so in the future.
Roundhammer was a success.
Yeah, because as we are already seeing, the Belkan War takes place before Ace Combat 5.
The acquisition of this
Yeah, I believe when this game was coming out, they were saying that this is like the predecessor to 5 directly.
Yeah. And that was it for mission Roundhammer.
See you later.
Welcome to Mission Costner. This will be mostly we will have to defend our carriers from the enemy aircrafts. As you can see, we have a lot of cruiser and a lot of enemies incoming. So we will choose. We will have an aircraft suitable for air-to-air missions. Let's see what we can use. Yeah, I think the Hornet is a suitable aircraft.
Or do you?
Or not? No, we're going with the 15.
Gonna keep this. We're gonna take this LP into cannon territory, flying the plane that you're supposed to fly.
And it's the same aircraft as Pixie. And we could also use the same color scheme, but we're going with the Knight.
The F-15 is. This aircraft is legendary. I mentioned that the A-10, somebody managed to fly one with its wing blown off.
Mm.
Somebody also managed to fly one of these with their wing blown off, which is actually Pixie's aircraft as a reference to this, with his like red wing and his solo wing, whatever.
Yeah. In the previous mission.
The F-15 is actually a lifting body. Funny enough, they didn't realize that. Apparently, they were all weirded out that he was able to fly it back, and they did some aerodynamic research afterwards and realized that it was an accidental lifting body. So they accidentally made the greatest aircraft ever, apparently.
It also has a pretty tall, let's say, rear wings. I don't know how to call them.
Stabilizers.
Stabilizers.
Or rudders, either or. The F-15 is... This aircraft is fantastic. I mentioned my love for the MiG-31.
Yeah.
This aircraft, though, also has a special place in my heart. Just something about it seems so perfect. In Operation Desert Storm, we didn't lose any of these, although I guess that's not saying much because, you know, flying against Iraq, I don't really know that they could do anything anyway, but this aircraft has been used in a lot of different ways. Originally, this is the F-15C, which is an anti-aircraft aircraft. The F-15 Eagle, which is also in this game, is almost an entirely different airframe. It was designed for air-to-ground missions, and it excels at both of them.
And enemy aircrafts are attacking our carriers. This is our first ace, Poster. He's flying with a Su-27. There are a lot of Sus. I don't know if you have seen in the hangar, but there is the Su-27, the Flanker,
yes.
and the 47. I think the Barracuda.
There are a lot of Sukhois in this game. There's the Su-37, Su-27, Su-32,
Yes.
Su-47. Of those, my favorite's actually the Su-32, which is a very weird plane.
Yeah, you can say that.
Also, I did like the despond that like you fought a Sukhoi ace in the F-15. It just seems right. Classic enemies. I'm kind of saddened that you have to shoot down Mirages, though.
Yeah.
Just feels so wrong. Also, this mission, you saw them earlier, the F-1. That's one of the beginning planes. I have a special place in my heart for that, just because it looks so dopey. It has like these tiny stubby wings. It looks like a missile. And it's supposed to be a ground attack plane, but I've never seen a ground attack plane that looks anything like that.
Ooh. Missed.
That was...
That's the F1. That was for you.
Aw, how sweet. The F-1 was actually Japan's first fighter craft that they were allowed to build on their own after World War II, I believe. made by Mitsubishi, I think, the same guys who brought us the Mitsubishi Zero from World War II. I might be wrong. Correct me in the thread if I am, but I think that's correct.
And that slowed down. Yeah, I'm sorry from the PS2. I had to pause the game
Wow.
for a second.
Discrete error? No. Okay.
And it's also a nice. I like for the F-15, the aircraft that we were using, the brake system, the flap.
That giant
Yeah.
flap that comes up. Yeah, it definitely looks like it does its job.
And we're almost done. Look at Pixie. Look at him. Good job. You missed, but you're doing a good job.
One of the few things I will say about Ace Combat 6 that it did better than this is making your wingmates not totally useless.
Yes.
I have a lot of criticisms for that game, namely the script and the lack of aircraft and lack of replayability and pretty much everything else about the game really, but making your wingmate as well as the other allies on the field able to do something was really, really nice. Plus, anything they do you still get points for.
And as you can hear, we are reading the commander of the Keystone. It's the same carrier that features in Ace Combat 5. We are seeing it here because the Belkan War takes place before Ace Combat 5. And let's hear what the briefing has to say.
Operation Costner succeeded, contributing to the overall success of campaign number 4101.
Great success.
Through the canal, the Ocean Fleet marks the beginning of our nation's
Yeah, thank you. And that was it for mission 4. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye for me as well.